Deep in the Thar Desert of western India lies a settlement so heavily steeped in dread that the government forbids anyone from entering after sunset. Kuldara remains one of the country's most frequented dark tourism destinations. Local myth states that on a moonless night in 1825, the inhabitants of Kuldara and 83 surrounding villages vanished. They supposedly fled to protect their chief's daughter from a cruel ruler named Diwan Salim Singh, leaving behind a dark curse. No one would ever be able to settle on this soil again. Thousands of tourists visit these ruins annually. Many claim to feel unseen entities walking beside them, while others report the sounds of crying women echoing through the alleys. Some even find the small, dusty handprints of children pressed against the windows of their locked cars. These stories gained global attention in 2016 when India's most famous paranormal investigator, Gaurav Tiwari, spent several nights running equipment through the abandoned homes. Shortly after his investigation, he was found dead in his bathroom under mysterious circumstances. Unlocking the truth of Kuldara requires examining the forgotten science buried under centuries of desert sand. This graph compares the legend of a single night mass exodus against historical census data. Instead of a vertical drop, the records show a slow population decline. The village went from 800 residents to just 37 by 1890. This decline was driven by environmental collapse. Kuldara was built near the Kakni River, but by the early 19th century, changing weather patterns caused the river to dry up. This stripped the region of its water supply and agricultural stability. Geological surveys of the ruins indicate a second disaster. The collapse patterns of heavy pillars, roofs, and lintels are distinct hallmarks of seismic activity. Earthquakes physically shattered the village over time. The final breaking point arrived with the Raksha Bandhan attacks. During a major raid, bandits targeted the weakened community, slaughtering residents and throwing animal carcasses into the remaining drinking wells to poison the water supply. The village's collapse was a process of attrition, forced by decades of ecological disaster, shifting tectonic plates, and violent raids. This cross-section explains the chills. Builders used passive cooling. Open courtyards let hot air escape, pulling cool air down. Outside, tightly packed houses on narrow streets blocked direct sunlight. Even in 50-degree heat, these structures maintain sudden temperature drops. Visitors are feeling ancient thermodynamics. The sounds of crying women are often the result of the power of suggestion. High-speed desert winds move through the jagged, broken stone of the ruins, creating a natural whistling sound that visitors, primed for a haunting, misinterpret as human voices. Children's handprints appearing on cars are the result of condensation and fine desert dust. When the temperature drops at night, dew forms on the glass, revealing invisible marks left by daytime tourists. The death of Gaurav Tiwari has a grounded reality. Police investigations concluded he was suffering from severe depression and financial pressure, which led to suicide. Media outlets later linked his death to Kuldara to generate ratings. These architectural and psychological realities account for the primary hauntings reported at the site. If there are no ghosts, we must ask why a community going into exile would choose to leave such a terrifying curse in their wake. The history of the Paliwal Brahmins reveals a community of wealthy Silk Route traders and elite civil engineers. Their stone balconies and multi-story homes reflect a level of wealth and craftsmanship that was rare for the region. This diagram shows their greatest invention, the Kadin system. They built earthen dams at the base of rocky slopes to capture monsoon runoff. The water would pool behind the dam and slowly seep into the deep soil. As the water drained away, it flushed out salts and left the soil moist enough to grow heavy crops like wheat in the middle of a desert. The Diwan Salim Singh wanted this fertile land. Knowing they were forced to leave, the Paliwal Brahmins weaponized their departure. They fabricated the curse to ensure that Salim Singh could never profit from the engineered landscape they were leaving behind. In a deeply superstitious 19th century society, the psychological terror of a curse was more effective at repelling settlers than a physical army. Salim Singh inherited 84 empty villages that generated zero revenue. The heavy gates of Kuldara, locking at 6 p.m. today, stand as a 200-year-old testament to a community that protected their legacy with a story.